The efforts of the Republicans to impeach Joe Biden didn't go so well. Here was their first House Oversight Committee hearing, what happened yesterday. Here's Representative Ken Buck on Anderson Cooper talking about that hearing.
And did you hear anything today that changed your mind?
No, I did not hear anything today. I did not sit through those hearings. I had other hearings to attend, but I certainly read the summaries of the testimony. I think Professor Turley is someone who carries great credibility in the House and in the Judiciary Committee. And when he says there's not enough evidence to warrant an impeachment, I think it's pretty clear that the evidence, while the investigation is ongoing, just isn't there at this point in time.
A Republican aide described today's impeachment hearing to CNN as an unmitigated disaster. Did Chairman Comer's witnesses undermine his own narrative, trying to link President Biden financially to his son?
Yeah, and here's the real problem, as I see it, Anderson. Once you start using the word impeachment, you've set expectations with a large percentage of the American public, and those expectations aren't being met at this point. It would have been much wiser to have continued the investigations, and if you get information that links President Biden with Hunter Biden's activities, then you start talking about impeachment. They came out of the box way too early. I don't know if it was intended as a distraction for the upcoming shutdown or certainly continuing resolution that we have to pass, or whether it was just a bad play, but it is not a good idea to have these two things coming together at the same time, in my opinion.
Is unmitigated disaster. And to be clear, Jonathan Turley was a witness for the Republicans who apparently they didn't ask beforehand, do you think that there's any evidence that would warrant an impeachment? What did come out, however, was not only that Jonathan Turley is a bit of a nutcase, apparently he was actively defending polygamy, not just as an attorney, but like as a talking head, we should be clear. And he said he has a bit of a libertarian streak. And, you know, like I'm not, I don't want to kink shame anybody, in terms of polygamy. But the problem with polygamy is that it is invariably a way of oppressing women. I mean, that's just what it is. But nevertheless, let's not just listen to Ken Buck, who clearly didn't want to have that impeachment thing. Let's listen to Fox's Neil Cavuto, who wanted that impeachment thing.
All right. For the better part of 6 hours, I have been following these hearings, save an hour off to do my Fox Business show earlier today. I don't know what was achieved over these last 6+ hours. Welcome, everybody. I'm Neil Cavuto. I want to put in perspective here, though, and we are going to legally go through all the details, but James Comer, the Oversight Committee chairman, had said that there would be presented a mountain of evidence against Mr. Biden. It was referring to President Biden. But none of the expert witnesses today presented yet any proof for impeachment. Now, to be clear, this was not about
it. I want to make something also even more clear. Not proof for impeachment, evidence. Proof is a higher standard than evidence. Proof is the aggregate of all your evidence. What was not even offered today, or yesterday, I should say, was evidence. Proof is when the cup runneth over. What they had was a completely empty cup. Not half full, not quarter full, not 3/4 full. Empty cup.
Got some notions.
Mountains of evidence. Mountain may not mean what Comer thinks it means, but continue.
But none of the expert witnesses today presented yet any proof for impeachment. Now, to be clear, this was not about impeachment. This was about launching an impeachment inquiry. But it is worth pointing out that none of the witnesses today were fact witnesses. That means that none were involved in the investigation into the alleged activities in the first place. What's more, none of the witnesses testified today of direct knowledge of what Republicans have been claiming about Joe Biden. In other words, that this except the way this was built up, where there's smoke, there would be fire. Again, I'm not a lawyer, and I'm going to be talking to some darn smart ones in a moment. But where there's smoke today, we just got a lot more smoke. We also say that the best they could say now, after this 6+ hours of testimony back and forth, is that they're going to try to get more bank records from Joe Biden and his son. Says that they're needed to determine if a crime was committed. Understood. But none of that was presented today, just that they would need those records to further this investigation today, even though this occurs after months of Republican probes that failed to provide anything resembling concrete evidence. We do.
All right. I mean, he's being generous there. Not only was there no fire, there was actually significantly less smoke than there had been before.
They need to check their smoke detectors.
It was like, don't open the windows because all the smoke is blowing out. Fascinating. Oh, and the backdrop to this, the point of this is the government is going to shut down in a matter of days. And the Republicans don't care, I guess. I don't know. We'll talk to Ryan Grimm about that in just a moment.